What's up, everyone? Happy Halloween. I didn't come in costume. I thought about it earlier. I'm going as a bad hair guy right now. I got some swoopy hair going. I got lights. They're right there. Good morning, good morning. Even supposing Michael DeLon, Suze, Miss Crafty, Evan. How are we doing this morning so far? Hello. Hello. We're... Oh, hang on. I'm watching myself on stream just to see how the lighting is. Because it's hard to tell. So I have a little bitty monitor here. Like I can see myself. But it's mostly chat and control panel. So it doesn't come out like really how I want. So yeah, this is going to be like an on-the-fly stream this morning. I have a couple of topics I want to hit up, but yeah, this is mostly me figuring out my lighting. I am dressed as a well-lit streamer for this for today. So yes, that is exactly what I was going for. So I'm gonna be a little bit discombobulated because I literally just finished the firmware updates on the lights moments ago before I clicked the button. I'll link you the setup here. So there's still a lot of testing to do, a lot of things I need to play around with. Oh, that is interesting. So now you can see the lighting. And I need to keep the screen off because you saw how bright it was when I Google. That's the Google homepage. That was my lighting before. Lights with firmware. I bought very expensive lights because they have a control panel. I can control it with my phone. Check this out. So I can control it with an app on the computer, which is actually easier than controlling it with my phone. But there's a little app here, like, that I can change it up. I actually have these lights on the lowest brightness allowed. That's how bright these lights can get. What's going to be interesting is adjusting them for the desk cam to like see if we can get good standard lighting. Like I did this for consistency, right? Because some days it's sunny. I've always used natural lighting. So some days it was sunny, some days it was cloudy, and it just made it very, very confusing to be consistent, and it just frustrated me. Y'all saw me on Tuesday where I was just super mad because it was so dark. But yeah, these lights have a control panel. I went full in and bought what's called a stream deck. So I have this button system that I'm going to configure. That's hours worth of configuration. We're going to deal with that later. I got these lights up in about 30-45 minutes. I'm happy with them so far. I'm surprised how low I have to do them. Here, I'll show you. So my light setup, my brightness on these lights is at 3% right now. That's as low as they go. So watch that. Is this my Pirate Sea shirt? I guess so. It's got a lot of islands on it. This is a cool shirt. I like this shirt. Watch this. That's 20%. Woof. So yeah, it takes some adjusting. So yeah, hopefully I didn't blaze out any of your... Yeah, exactly, Bulbasaurs. That was 20%. I literally have this pegged to the bottom, which is 3%. That doesn't let you go to less than 3%. And then I can change the hue or the color temperature. You know, we can like dull it out a little bit, although that's not bad. Like I can orange myself up if I need to orange myself. I know, sorry about your eyeballs, guys. So I don't know what the right setting is for this, but that seems pretty natural looking. So yeah, we're gonna play with this. I have a voice modulator thing in my little stream deck that I'm gonna mess with. I have I can do this. Let's see. Where is it? So I can put up the second monitor, which we'll do in a minute. All right, like that. And then I can just hit a button and go to the website. So like I can program it to do all kinds of things. So we're going to talk about the Star Wars pins later today. Where's the costume? I'm a clown anyway. So I just went to clown in his natural state. So I bought, I went way overboard on stream setup yesterday. So we have all kinds of fun stuff to play with today. So that said, what are we going to talk about today? I actually said on Tuesday that I'm going to talk about next year's calendar, which we're going to do. But before that, we have to talk about the Star Wars pins, right? Oh, Jedi. I would just go with that. I would just autocorrect to Jedi all the time. So let's roll these up real quick. So if y'all had the chance to lay eyes on this last night, I was sitting around. I was watching World Series. What secret pen? I was sitting around watching the World Series last night, and of course following baseball Twitter very closely. And really late, this started coming in, so it must have been morning in Japan when this launched. So yeah, go Nats. Like I was for the Astros, totally for the Astros, but I'm okay with the Nats winning. Personal high pin purchase, maybe. I might have bought a very expensive pen. You don't get to know about that yet. I'm really gonna play this up for a little bit because I have something I have to do first before I can reveal it to the world. Good morning, Evelyn. So apologies in advance if I'm a little scatterbrained today. It was just fast getting into the stream this morning. I was just kind of going crazy trying to get it all ready. Is that in the screen enough? I'm trying to get in here with the screen. So yes, I bought a secret pin. No, not even Mike knows what it is. I told him, he was denied. So yeah, so y'all want to talk about Star Wars pins? What are y'all's opinions on the Star Wars pins? These are from Platinum. These are the Platinum 3776 Star Wars pins. And I think they're absolutely terrible. I hate to say that. I think they're awful. So let's break them down one by one. I think there's one good looking one here that if I were to break down and get one, I will share what it is. But this is a major letdown from what I would expect. So what are we, 33,000 yen? So we're like $300. Is that what we're at? Yeah, 305. So $300. Like, I get the idea. All right, let's break them down. So we have, I think they have full individual breakdown. So we have 6 pins. So we have the opening scroll, Force Darth Vader, Force Luke Skywalker, Standard Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and Kylo Ren. All right, so let's break these down. First off, universally, they have the dark furniture, right? So do they? I can't. This page doesn't translate because it's. I guess it's probably just one image. So I don't think Google Translate is working on this page. So yeah, let's go one by one here. So opening credits. Like, this is like, if I'm sitting around a table and we're going to talk about Star Wars pens, I have this idea, right? Like, this idea comes up. Oh, what if we did the opening scroll? I'm guessing this is the New Hope opening scroll, right? It's got to be, right? I don't know which. Does it say? I don't know. Yeah, this is a border starship, custodian of the stolen plan. So yeah, this is the New Hope opening credits. I would have this idea, right? It's an awesome idea. I don't know that you can execute it better than this, which makes me think you shouldn't have done it, because it kind of just, it's tough. It really doesn't work. I love the cap. I love the stars. I love the galaxy. It just, the way it's designed, especially like in the small area, it makes it look cheap, right? And these are $300 pens. It makes it look cheap. And you know, Platinum has a challenge to begin with, to where they have a light feel to the pen. So you don't want to cheapen that feel as it is, right? I don't mind the lightness of the pen. There's reasons that I like the pen, and I like how they feel, and I like how they look, and I like the shape and the design and the hardware. But they've actually cheapened this further by doing this. So it's like, I get this idea. Like, I would have gone, what about the opening scroll? Like, let's put that on a pen. That would be dope. And it just doesn't work. The nib is killer. Okay. Can I just buy the nibs separate and put them in my other pens? Use the Force, lightsabers crossing, little cross hatching, all of them 14K nibs. They're just, yeah, maybe run it the full cap body length. Then it gets shifted though, depending on how you tighten it, because you can always over tighten these things. So yeah, it's bad. All right. The blotter card, dope. Give me the blotter card, right? I'll take it. All right. So we're doing this in lieu of doing this, saving this for the podcast next week, since Mike won't be on. I'm sure we'll follow up on it, but I just wanted to go ahead and get my thoughts out there. All right. Force Darth Vader. This one and the Luke Skywalker one are a travesty to pen design. These are awful. This is what Schaefer did for $20, and it was great. This is a $300 pen. I don't even think that quote is accurate. Don't underestimate the Force. Isn't it the power of the Force? What is the real quote here? Isn't the real quote, don't underestimate the power of the Force? I haven't looked it up. I think this is the single worst one of them all. And it's right there with the Skywalker one, because the quote cheapens the pen. Give me a lightsaber cap with give me the lightsaber hilt or handle on the cap and the lightsaber running down the barrel. Right? Like, why is this this one's, I have a huge problem with this one. It's also got rhodium plating instead of the ruthenium, which is fine. Like, I would have rather just them all be dark, but like, I'm kind of embarrassed for Platinum. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going all in on these. I'm kind of embarrassed for Platinum on this one. It's like, what is happening here? Don't underestimate the Force. That's not a quote. That's not a quote. That's what my kid says when he didn't hear it the first time right. It's like, I'm going to put the Force on you. Like, it should just say that, right? Your lightsaber design is a racing stripe. Golly. This is... I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in this pen. On the same lines, don't underestimate the Force. Wow, it has, each of them have their own blotting card, and I have to listen to this quote again or see this quote again. This is rough. This is a little rough. What does it say on the nib? It says use the force. Use the force, Robert. The lightsabers crossing is pretty cool. Vader says it to the guy they made it. So it's a new movie quote. It looks like all the nibs are the same. So at least the first two have this same lightsaber crossing nib, which is the nib's fantastic. Okay, so in the most recent movie, he says, don't underestimate the force. All right, it's a little weak. Then we go right into this. May the force be with you. One of the greatest movie quotes of all time. And I like this better than the Vader pen, but it's got the same flaws. Like, this is... So, you know the loaner pen, Bic? Like, this is no different than me getting loaner on my Bic. That's how impressive this is, which is to say not. Like, yeah, so it's a quote, but not the quote, right? It just asks for confusion. I got you, TJ. But, yeah, this looks like it's printed by promotional pen companies, which, hey, I like promotional pen companies for what they are, not for the $300 platinum. Like, I could go to my promotional pen company, which, full disclosure, they're sponsoring the blog next week, and that's where I just got all my pens from. So I could make a better pen than this pen today. I guarantee it. This is probably good we're not doing this on the podcast. It requires a visual. And it tries to get me mad. Yeah, for chess tournaments. That's what I got a bunch of feedback on that, right? Grand Moff Tarkin, thank you. But yeah. It's a letdown. I am sorry. May the force be with you. You know, I don't get it. Like, it's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine. They'll sell. I don't know that these will sell out. Bump, thanks for the sub. Where'd my sounds go? Did my new lighting wreck my sounds? Yeah, give me a Pilot Metro and some stickers. I'm telling you, those Schaefer $20 pens were the same type of artwork as these. And they had better execution. Like the BB-8, Darth Vader, Yoda. I think they did a bunch of them. You heard a sound? I didn't hear a sound, so maybe it's just on my side. I did so much swapping around tomorrow. The nibs are sweet. I wish I could buy the nib loose. Let's see if we can pull up... Oh, you know what? I reviewed one. I should pull it up on the blog. Oh, watch. Bam. Whoa. Bad spelling. Let's see if that works. Yep. I have to reach around my microphone to get to the keyboard. So, check that guy out, right? That's a dope pen, and it's like $20. Like, doesn't have a 14 karat gold nib. But here's a... Yeah, $20 each. Put that on a platinum pen, and I'm pretty happy. So... Yeah, Cross's pens look much better. Like that Boba Fett Cross pen is really well done. But like, look at that. I would rather have a wrap. You know, which these are printed. It's not a wrap, but I would rather have a wrap on these platinums than how this one looks. Right. This is going to disappear. The writing, may the force be with you, that's going to get worn off, which is fine. You should use the pens. I don't have as much of a problem with that. I'm just let down. I am disappointed. Definitely disappointed with these. This one's pretty okay. The Darth Vader, it has more of a classic style. Is that his face mask? Yeah, on the barrel. I don't know exactly what that is. Is that his face there over here on the barrel? The back logo art looks pretty cool. Like, oh, they have a new nib on this one. Galactic Empire. That nib is awesome. How cool is that? Yeah, it looks like you can scratch the art off. That's what that gray looks like. Looks like lottery ticket stuff. So this one's not bad. The first three are just letdowns. The Vader, he looks a little Hot Topic. I'll agree with that, especially when you put it with the background. I mean, that's a Hot Topic T-shirt, right? Affliction, Vader Affliction. The nib is stunning. As the nib is just straight up awesome. That one, pretty cool. Oh, look at the finial. Like, I wonder what this looks like in person, right? Because it's done artistically, right? To have kind of this, not totally filled in type of look. I don't know exactly what you would call it. I wonder how that's going to look in person. Like, you can make that look good in photography, but is that going to print well on the pen? So Vader Pen, okay, thumbs up. I'll give thumbs up to the Vader Pen. First three pens are definite thumbs down. Not even like middle ground, I don't think. This one's a thumbs up. This is the best one by far because it's just a logo design that takes over the barrel. Like the Vader quote and the Luke quote are so simplistic, they look unfinished, right? When you put them side by side next to the Darth Maul pen or this last Vader pen, you're like, well, are you going to finish these other ones? Because, like, you could do a sick lightsaber pen. And, yeah, except the nib. All the nibs are great. You could do a sick lightsaber pen, and they just didn't. Like, this is interesting. Darth Maul should have had a different nib. Yeah. It should have had his lightsaber. Yeah. So lore wise, bad nib choice, right? Star Wars universe, bad nib choice. Pen design, best. Although it looks like a Spider-Man pen in the barrel shot, right? It's a little Spider-Man-ish. But I think this is a really good pen. And this finish looks a little bit different than the other ones on the top finial. I think it's great looking. Pretty. I would enjoy using this pen. Yeah, hashtag nerds. I love y'all. This is a massive letdown, right? I don't get what's going on here. I don't get this one bit. Like, this could have been cool. Does it even have... Okay, it does have a cap finial. Oh, he has his own nib. Kylo Ren has his own nib. Fine. What does FO mean? There's a FO in the nib. What is that? See, I don't think this one wins. I think it's too simple. I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know that I needed enough for lack of design elements on this. First Order? Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. First Order. So is that the First Order logo? It's super clean. But I'm paying $300 for this. Like, I want... If I'm committing to Kylo Ren, give me something a little bit more, right? Than, like, his mask design. I would just expect a little bit more from this, just like the quote pens up top. Like, give me something more. So much of this is tied up into the nibs. These have to be 50% nib cost, right? Just to get this stamping, and for these quantities, I don't know what the quantities are. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is definitely the most, like, the cleanest, understated one that you can do something cool for Star Wars. To be honest, I don't want to represent all the dark side. It's not like my thing, and the dark side pens are the best looking. You have one Luke pen and one scroll pen. Spoilers. I think we're okay with spoilers here. Packaging. Standard platinum packaging with Star Wars finish. Cool. Good packaging. I mean, pens are just screaming for droids, right? I mean, droid design makes for perfect pens. A Padme pen would be awesome. That would be cool. That would be really pretty. I could go for a Yoda pen. All right, we got slip and seals. Yeah, so Vader, Darth Maul, Kylo Ren. Like, that's a great series right there. Green Ringless Sailor could be the Yoda pen. Yeah, probably. I like how the this is kind of what sold me on the Darth Maul one in the picture in the hand. I think it looks good with that dark hardware and the design aesthetic of it. It says, hey, this is a Star Wars pen. Wicked pen. That would be awesome. So yeah, 33,000 yen, 300-ish USD. Like, if you look at these three pens, I think there's a reason the other three are not in this picture, right? These three pens are separate from, sorry if this is hurting your face, from the scroll, from the first three we talked about. So these three look good. Like, I get it. Like, seems good. Their 100th anniversary logo looks awesome. We've spoken about that before. Yeah, they look super good. This is not the same category. This is a completely different category of pen for me. These are your Schaefer pop pens. Like, the execution on these pens is far different than these, even the Kylo Ren. So, I don't know. I think these will do well, but I think there'll be some discounts on these models, especially later. Like the Lamy 2000, the blue one, I never thought it wasn't going to sell. Like, I knew that would sell. Like, I would be concerned of these three selling. I think these will be the three popular ones. Then maybe Luke. Then maybe the scroll. I think the Vader one's probably the worst. The Luke would be there, but it's just so different. It's got the white and blue. But I mean, it's, this racing stripe design for the price just gets me. So, anyway, that's my thoughts. This started blowing up my Twitter feed, I guess in about the 7th or 8th inning last night. I actually enjoy white pens. I don't use them enough because not a lot of people make them. Trying to think which ones I've used. Which ones I carry. I use my Mark 1. I'm trying to think of any fountain pens. I use more non-fountain pens and white barrels. Mark 1, the James brand pen, both of those are pretty cool. Oh, the Stormtrooper Vanishing Point. That one's awesome. That's One of my favorite vanishing points. And it's mostly white. Did I review that one? I'm not sure. I think you can still get it, right? That's a normal lineup pen. Oh, well, there's a picture of it. That was just some picture I took. So yeah, I love that pen. It's not as much of a cool texture as it is a solid finish, a rock solid finish. I'm kind of with you, Evan. All right. Did y'all read Sarah's post? Sarah's like my her NaNoWriMo posts are some of my favorite. Like, it's so, she writes so much. So I like the kit that she's gone through here. 2 white pelicans. I am looking extra lit. I got my lighting. I'm feeling lit. When I when I do that. I can get this off, I guess, for now. Oh, I was gonna pull up the calendar. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna pull up the pen show calendar on the wellappointeddesk.com. Tessa, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not getting alerts here. Y'all are hearing the alerts? What could have possibly be gone wrong with mine? You know what it is? I probably kicked something in the back when I was updating all this stuff. Yeah, so I bet you if you're hearing it, then I kicked something with my speaker, right, when I was changing all the wiring for the lighting and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. Does Anna have 2019 dates? 2020 dates? Yes. All right. So let's pull this back up. Yeah, so, okay. If y'all are hearing them, I'll just check afterwards and figure out something on my side. Not a big deal. Sorry, just checking a couple things here. I would think you would enjoy the Vanishing Point, TJ. Especially, like, I always love the Vanishing Point in an office situation, because if you're moving around, going to meetings, clip to your shirt, quick deploy. I don't know. I love the Vanishing Point regardless, but I just think it's a great pen, especially in an office situation. All right, so let's talk schedule. I am going to write down a few things here. Do not quote me on this stuff. This is me trying to think out loud what my schedule is going to be like next year. So I wanted to, this is something I would do at home normally. Hey, Borkenbork. Yeah, it's almost 2020. It's dumb. I know. Like, I say don't quote me while this is recorded, right? I'm quoting you at Bible quoting. I guess you mean quoting me. Yeah. Well, then, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. All right. So what I'm trying to do is get a game plan for next year. This is really bright, y'all. Is that too bright? Is it okay? My goal is to lay out my pen show year from the beginning, which I've never done. I know things like Atlanta I'm going to, right? But then, like, Dallas last year, I never really knew if I was going to Dallas until like a month before. I decided I just can't do it. But I figured if I can commit early and book these things and then plan around them, I'll have a better chance at getting to the shows. Link to the schedule. Yes. So this is on the well-appointed desk. Yes, Andrew. So my wife only gets her schedule 6 weeks in advance. So yeah, I guess that's the best way to say it. Even though it's not always 6 weeks in advance, like 2 weeks before the next 6-week period, she'll get a schedule. Does that make sense? So it makes for planning hard. And then I do things like going to like Houston, going to Dromgools. Like, while that was super fun, and I was like, I want to travel all the time. Like, that's my mindset. In reality, it's really rough. Like, I like really stress about like travel stuff. Sorry, this is really bright, so I'm just gonna try to tone down some of the lighting in the corner, out of the corner of my eye, and hopefully y'all can still read that reasonably well. I'm just gonna adjust this for a second. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. Okay, well, that's kind of dumb. It doesn't let me adjust that, so we'll just deal with it. So yeah, it's become harder and harder over the years. And then once her schedule's set, like it's rock solid. Like, she can't do anything to manipulate it. You know, maybe one day if like an emergency came up and we could adjust around. But a lot of times pen shows will take me out of town for 5 days, right? Thursday travel day to Monday travel day with a show in between. So I want to make a list of what I want to do next year. And then like assume that I'm going to do those unless for some reason I can't make it work. So the first one's Philly. And what we're going to do today when I'm done laying this out is we're going to book Philly's hotel. So I hope it's not sold out. Is it sold out? So 2020 pen show schedule. And this is, you know, tentative. This is basically, I'm going at this from a what I want to do perspective. So what I want to do is I want to go to Philly. And that is January 7th to 9th. 17th to 19th, excuse me. So when we're done going through this list, we're going to go book Philly's hotel. We might look at flights, but I don't have to rush into the flights. I don't do, hotels are refundable, right? Until like a day or two before. Flights, not so much. So I'll be a little bit hesitant on the flight. Let's see. And then can we do, what does desk cam look like right now? It's behind monitor cam. So we're gonna have to check the lighting later on desk cam. I can adjust these lights, they tilt down. So I think we can probably get some good lighting setups. But it will still be like kind of pinned to whatever the camera is gonna look like here. But I'm using the Field Notes Autumn. What did we decide this one? This one was American Elm. And then I'm using my Shiba pen with the Auto Flash Dry, which I love. J'adore. All right. Desk cam, monitor. All right. Southwest Pen Show in Bristol, UK. No. Baltimore Pen Show. I had great times in Baltimore recently. I want to go to Baltimore. And that is February 28th to March 1st. Northern Pen Show, also in the UK. We're going to pass on that. LA Pen Show. We're going to pass on that. And we're going to monitor. Last year was a wreck, so they've moved it. Moved to a different hotel. Beautiful new location at the Torrance Marriott Redondo Beach. This is just the worst idea of any pen show. Off topic, Brad. I got some of those vintage color Sarasas. The one I tried is really hard starting and kind of scratchy. Bum refill. That sounds bum refillish to me. Those should be reasonably smooth, somewhat scratchy, but even these are 0.5, so they're not really scratchy. I think you should maybe consider a bum refill and see if you can get it swapped. Maybe. That's what it sounds like to me. That shouldn't happen. They're pretty consistent. And for 0.5, pretty smooth. Oh, Blake, your brother's refusing to move the wedding. That stinks. So if y'all have any questions that are off topic, just fire them in the chat and we'll get to them. Like if y'all want to talk about something, let me know. We'll talk about it. Do I ever do pen shows in Europe? I have not. This could be the year. I'm highly considering. I want to see when the Dutch pen show is. If that's on the calendar, we'll look. So yeah, LA. Number one, I don't like the promoter. Number two, the only public day is Sunday. It's a very uncomfortable show for me. Long Island pen show. That's a pass. Yeah, no. London writing equipment show. That's probably a pass. See you, Evan. We'll be here for a little bit. I don't have any huge plans, so we'll just kind of chit chat. Hey, Schmevelin, what is the geographic location of this hotel compared to the last one? Like time-wise, miles-wise? Come Back to Chicago. That's on the maybe list. It's been 2 years. I like that show a lot. I'm leaning towards maybe. I think they're going to do a big hotel renovation there this year, so I'm a little concerned about that. So maybe one more year wait, but we'll see. TJ, how sweet is Strasburg going to look in a Braves uniform? He will look terrible. I do not like him. Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. I'd rather pay more for Garrett Cole, and he's just as much of a jerk. Strasburg does not like pitching in Atlanta. He can't handle the humidity. I've seen us beat him so many times when he just got overheated. 15 minutes further out from LAX. Okay, just curious. It's not bad from LAX, the old one. So another 15 minutes. You haven't been to the new Atlas stationers. Chicago's a yes. All right, we'll put that down. All right, back to the list. Long Island, no. LWES, no. Arkansas Pen Show. I need to write that down. I'm not planning on going, honestly, but we'll see. So that one will get an asterisk. Did I go last year? I didn't go last year. It depends on what Lisa wants me to do. So that one I just go to go and hang out. So that is March 13th to 15th. And see, that's Baltimore, 2 weeks off. Arkansas, 2 weeks off. Atlanta, which really is like 10 days off in between, which is not enough to do 3 shows in the span of like a month. Because that's pretty much what that is. 3 shows in 5 weeks. That's almost that. I'm just asking for trouble. I don't do well with that. So that's March 13th to 15th. And that one gets an asterisk. That's a not mandatory. Off topic, I've never tried a sailor pen. You guys are always talking about sailor pens. I love big pens and colorful and out there pens. I'm also a pen maker, so sometimes I have a hard time buying pens when I can make them. What are your thoughts on this? And what pen in the sailor camp would you suggest? I usually like 14 to 15 millimeter threads and a 15.5 to 16 millimeter, I'm assuming, diameter body. I don't know those measurements off the top of my head. If you like larger pens, bigger pens, sailor is not the pen for you. Yeah, king of pen. which I would never recommend to anyone because they're outrageously priced. But that's going to be the big size one. Any of the 1911s or Pro Gears, I wouldn't recommend based on what you're saying you like in a pen. They're just not big or substantial. Even their large sizes, until you get into the King of Pen, which then you're getting into $700+ $800 for a plastic barrel pen. You would be better off making something like that. So that's kind of, I mean, it's not sad. It's just, not everything's for everybody, right? So that's why there's more than one pen company, right? We get to try different things. So yeah, if you're looking in that size range, Sailor doesn't have it. Not every pen can cover every size range for everybody. But you shouldn't try to force yourself into something that's not going to work for you either, right? All right, Atlanta Pen Show, April 3rd through 5th. That's a lock, of course. I have 4 Sailors, none in original bodies. That's funny. I think all my Sailors are in original bodies. April 3rd through 5th. So, Baltimore, 1st of March. Atlanta, 1st of April. So this is like one pen show a month, not counting Arkansas. January, February/March, April. Okay, so that's 3 shows in the first, we'll say 4 months, but it's really like 3 months. Chicago, April 30th. We're going to write this down. At least there's a wide gap. I'll get to that one second, even supposing. At least there's a wide gap between Atlanta and Chicago this year, which means there's a chance. So that's good. There are some years where they're 2 weeks apart, and that's bad. My show calendar gets so front loaded. So Chicago is April 30th to the 3rd. May 3rd. Whoops. Even supposing, have Mike and I decided what our second show will be? Yes, we have decided. We have not informed said second show yet. So, what's up, Mike? We have not informed said second show. Not that it matters, because I don't think we would do a live show there anyway. So we might just do what we plan on doing in and outside of the show, regardless. So yeah, we have picked out our second show. I am 95% sure they wouldn't be interested in us having a live show, but that's all right, because we're going to do it for other reasons. All right, Triangle Pen Show. That's usually like last day of May, first of June. So what would that look like? We'll tentatively put down, that could go May 30th or it could go June 6th. All right. Triangle Pen Show. Mike, is there a Triangle Pen Show date? Actually, let me pull up the site. Triangle Pen Show. May 30th. There you go. Is that correct? No, that's 2019. So that's 2019. Sorry, there is not a date. So we need 2020 date. So it might still be that May 30th time frame. We'll just say end of May. All right. Dutch Pen Show. That's the one I want to go to. If I go to this show last year, this was their first show, was 2019. I'm writing this on the list. Because I am intrigued. That's June 7th. If that's June 7th, that almost certainly means no triangle. But we'll see. We'll see. Capital Pen Show. So maybe that could be a twofer. Dutch Pen Show, Capital Pen Show, June 13th. That's a big trip. So I'm just writing down all the shows I want to go to. But that would be one trip, June 13th. And that's not something me and Mike are doing, but I could probably get Mike to go. We just do it. Midland Pen Show. Is that in England? Yeah, is that the UK? St. Louis Pen Show. One of these years I will get to St. Louis. That's usually like vacation time for me and the family. Like it's in the heart of summer. I think I already have another event booked. I go to Guardian Con every year down in Orlando, which this year is called GCX, and I've already booked that hotel. Let's see when that is. I think it's that weekend. June 27th and 28th. And what is this? Yeah, so I will not be going to the St. Louis Pen Show because I'm going to this, and I already have it booked. So, yeah. Tyler and I go to this. We've been the last 2 years. It's because it's like a 5-hour drive for us. It's super easy to go. So, yeah, so St. Louis is a no this year. Miami's a no just because it's Miami. I would like to go if I was going on vacation. Singapore Pen Show. That could be on the maybe future list one of these days. Washington, D.C. I'll probably try to get. See, even supposing. D.C. I'll probably try to go to this year. Because I didn't last year. That should be one. That should be like an every other year type of thing. You know, and I might have to choose between D.C. and San Francisco, alternate years kind of thing. Because they're so close together. So that's, we'll just say early August for that. Although, let's see. We can check and see if they've updated any dates. We're getting pretty far away, pretty far out now. Sydney Fountain Pen Show. One of these years, right? San Francisco. We'll write that down. That's late August. Tokyo. I mean, I'm going to write that down. I have a friend that's trying to get me to go this year. That is not named Mike Hurley. But maybe I go this year to lay the groundwork for 2022, right? I think that's what I need to do. Yeah, just go. Like I need to get some kind of like Delta frequent flyer. I mean, I have frequent flyer miles, but I need to get like a credit card or something of Tokyo Pen Show if I'm doing all this. That's like late September. No, that's like mid-September. We'll see. Commonwealth, that's a pass. Saar Falls, I don't know where that is. Sounds German. I don't know that one. Pass. Dallas Pen Show, I didn't go last year, so I'm almost certainly going to go this year. I would like to. That's late September, which might put a kink in the Tokyo Pen Show plans, but we'll see. See what the dates end up being. LWES again, twice a year. Tilburg, Yorkshire. I know Madrid is that time frame. Columbus, which is this week. Toronto. All of those are in here. So yeah, this is like a lot of travel. So just from now until September, I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shows. 1, 2, 3 are foreign shows, so we can probably just scratch those off. That's like pipe dream type stuff. Although the Dutch Pen Show and the Capital Pen Show together makes a lot of sense. Jay Motorham, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I've never traveled more than like 5 or 6 times a year, and that's usually I'm usually done by that. So Philly, Baltimore, Atlanta, Triangle, DC, Dallas. Those are like Philly, Baltimore, Atlanta, Triangle, DC, Dallas. If I had to pick my year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 shows. Brian at Spoke. I owe Brian at Spoke a phone call. I just realized that. Damn it, Brian. Hey, Brian at Spoke Pen. He finished shipping all of our pens this week. How cool is that? And I was supposed to call him yesterday, and I didn't. Forgot about that. I was missed at DC this year. Yeah, I'll try to get back. I'll try to get back for next year. So that's, I mean, 6 pen show trips is a lot, because then I got to figure out, I don't know, life all around that. But like, that's kind of my guidelines. I love San Francisco, but I don't know that I can do it every year. Like if I'm going to do DC and San Francisco, that might be an alternate year type of situation. Because it just gets into so much travel. You know, that's the thing. It's like I can't do all of this stuff. So, Philly, Baltimore, Atlanta, Triangle, DC, Dallas. Like that's a good spread. Yeah, my they needed to have brought me back to Houston for these last 2 games. My streak is still alive. Except it didn't help the Astros win. So I wasn't in town. They lose 2 games in a row. Way to go. Yo, Brian. Yeah, so maybe I'll remember to call you this afternoon. Maybe. There's a chance. Definitely tomorrow. My day is so stupid today. My day is dumb. I keep mispronouncing Chicago. Well, I mean, I'd like to go. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't go to them all. I mean, which ones are you going to, Jacqueline? Because I'll just mark those off the list. You know, Jacqueline will be in Chicago. Pass. Jacqueline will be San Francisco. Pass. Like, makes it easy. Makes it easy for me. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's tough. Like, I want to go ahead and book all this stuff now. But I feel like I'm shorting somebody by doing it this way. Who knows? And then I have to figure out, okay, am I going to work all these? Love you too, Jacqueline. Would I recommend the LA show? I can't in good conscience recommend the LA show until we see what happens this year. So it was a really bad year last year, and then they moved hotels, so I'd want to see what would happen before that. Last year was a mega cluster. So I would wait and see. I mean, if you're local and can drive to it, sure. I wouldn't make a dedicated trip with travel and hotel arrangements to that show. I think you would be disappointed. So that's a wait and see. Chicago is one of the best shows around. I love Chicago. It's a great show. And it's been 2 years, so, you know, this might be the year. Although I do want to check on the hotel renovations. That does sway me. Fair or not. Yeah, Chicago's a good time. Good time. Anyone going to Columbus this weekend? That's this weekend, right? Toronto last weekend, Columbus this weekend. I'm trying to get Carrie on the show next week, even though I said it was supposed to be this past week. I should fly you to Chicago. Pass. That's a hard pass for me. Hard pass. Going Saturday to Columbus. Cool. That should be fun. Then is that it for the year? pretty much. Carrie says he's going to Madrid, which we'll talk about on the show next week, just to go as a fan. Jacqueline's going. Okay, caution. Columbus is your first show? Awesome. That should be great. Tomorrow is Fountain Pen Day. Yeah, so I had it all lined up. I was like, oh, Mike's off, Carrie. You want to come on and talk about Fountain Pen Day? I was like, it's perfect timing. And then Mike's like, hey, can you go an hour later this week? And I was like, I thought you were off this week. It's like, no, next week. So we'll talk about after Fountain Pen Day. Bork and Bork, you're nervous about budgeting? Just take it slow. Like, don't blow the budget. There's always a next time. Like, don't feel like you have to have anything. Don't like totally panic over it. So, Bert has his annual in-store show in 2 weeks. That was kind of my last weekend at Drom Ghouls. Drom Ghouls was my in-store event of the year, and I spent like pen show crazy money there for sure. There are always more pens than money, so don't sweat it. That's right. Just don't put yourself out. Don't do anything crazy. It's not worth it. It's just pens. So, be chill. And it's good to have a budget and a game plan. Think about what you want to see, what you want to test out, what might work out well for you, and take it slow. So Columbus is probably a good like first time pen show. I don't think it's too big, but it's like big enough to have everything, right? Is that the Columbus experience? Sam, that's perfect, right? I went to my first pen show this year and left with a bottle of ink and a nib fix. It was a blast. Like, totally, right? And if there's something you missed out on, you could probably find it online later, like in 6 months, like when your budget adjusts again or whatever. Don't feel like you have to have everything or buy everything. Columbus is pretty chill. Yeah. So should be good. I look forward to hearing about it. That's one show that's never on my radar. Just like this time of the year, I don't feel like going anywhere anymore. I know people keep asking me to go, and I know Terry, who runs the Raleigh show, the Triangle show, he runs it too, and I like Terry. But it would be just to go. I don't think I would try to sell there. Oh, nice. Bringing a noob, Jacqueline. I like it. That's great. So yeah, like the pen show first timer thing's a real thing. Just gotta I missed out on the Kung Fu by waiting. Never wait. Yeah. So that's a little different. With the special editions, you can kind of get a feel for whether you should jump into them or not. Bologna Pen Show in Italy on November 23rd. I don't care if it's not anywhere as good as most USA shows. That would still be awesome. That would be great. I'd be all over that. Yeah, I don't know if next year is going to be the year I go to an international pen show for the first time. I'm looking at this calendar, like Dutch Pen Show and Capital Pen Show within a week from each other is a pretty good layout. And it's in the summertime, so I would have a better chance of pawning off the kids to somebody. They would be out of school. It would also probably interfere with me and the kids going to the Raleigh Pen Show, which we always do. So, it's one of those things. Oh, you did want to go to South Oklahoma, Tessa? South Oklahoma's not. I hear that pen show is amazing. I think it's at a casino. Yeah. San Fran. I think anyone should go to San Fran. It's a great show. I can't speak highly enough of that show. It's fantastic. So yeah, that one's worth like saving for. Like if you're gonna make a trip to a pen show and you want to go somewhere outside of your normal area and try something different while staying, around in the country, not going around the world, San Francisco would be at the top of my list for sure. It's a haul. It's a haul. And even though DC is not a haul, if I try to do both, I would just hate myself. Although my San Francisco show would be less stressful this year than this past one with all the extra stuff we did. Next year, I would just be able to go and, work the show or do whatever, as opposed to doing all the things we did in advance and then doing the live show and having just extra stuff to do. Yeah, if you're only an hour away, you should definitely go. And I would go Friday or Sunday. Saturday's super busy. It would be worth taking the day off Friday if you could, if you only had one day to go. Sunday's a good day too. Yeah, both of those, then Dallas. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. So, too many shows in the fall, too many shows in the spring. Like Baltimore, Arkansas, and Atlanta are within 5 weeks of each other. So that's why I probably won't do Arkansas unless Lisa twists my arm or something. It's just too much. Too much. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, what else y'all want to talk about? Like I said, I was not prepared today because I was up late last night watching the game, and then I was up early this morning because I had to get everything done to get over here and set up the lighting, which I think worked out well. We'll have consistent lighting from now on, and there's some stuff for me to play with to make it even better, and we'll have to see what that goes. But I'm open for any AMAs or anything. I missed Monday on my theme system, and that's the first day I've missed in a long time. Did I talk about the St. Louis Pen Show? Yes, I already have something booked that weekend. I will not be at the St. Louis Pen Show this year unless the plans change majorly. So actually, I brought my theme system journal. I'm not gonna write in it on stream. I got the fancy Elgato lights, TJ. I went full pimp on that. So tell Lisa you'll replace me as the hype woman. She would take you up on that offer. Do I think I will get into custom mechanical keyboards? I do. My friend Susan, who did the Shiba Pen with me, she helps design mechanical keyboards and is now working for a mechanical keyboard company. So I will, I have one that someone sent me a long time ago, Massdrop. One of my friends at Massdrop sent me a mechanical keyboard that I used to use in my old IT job, and I really enjoyed it. I will a custom. Oh yeah, TJ. I wasn't gonna get the Stream Deck, and I was like, well, I'm spending way more on these stupid lights. I'm just gonna get it all. It's getting towards the end of the year, tax write-offs. Make sure I spend on some of my technology stuff. So yes, I got the Stream Deck. I didn't have time to set that up, other than a hot link to my website. Watch this. You'll just see it because the lighting will go. Boom. So there's the Pen Addict website. Off. Yeah, St. Louis seems like a fun show. They work really, and what's her husband's name? Dave. They work really hard at making that a good show. What pen do I use in my theme system? I try to use a different one every day. And then because that's part of my writing in it, is I will write at the bottom of the main block, you can't see it. At the bottom, I'll write what pen and ink I'm using. So there's some duplicates, but I try. Oh, I did do Monday. It's Tuesday. I forgot. Tuesday is the day I forgot. I did Monday because I was using my Sailor 1911 4 a.m. with Sailor Ink Studio 941. So yes, I write that in there. Yeah, so I want to look at all the different profiles and stuff you can put on the Stream Deck. It's pretty neat. Mechanical keyboards will drive people nuts. I wouldn't use that on stream. It's not like I type much on stream anyway, so. So yeah, I use all the pens. I use pencil, ballpoint, roller balls. You know, here's Quran Dash 849, Sailor King of Pens, Studio Neat, Retro 51, pencil. I didn't write down which pencil I used, and I can't remember. Uniball Signo DX in pink, Pen Type B, Sailor Rialo, on and on and on and on and on. Lamy Pico. So yeah, I try to use something. See you, Mike. Have fun molding the youth. Yeah, I would try. Yeah, I would probably go for a more silent keyboard, like the first try. But let's see. Let me see if I can find Susan's. Like, it's pretty glorious. Where is her? Let's do this. So that's the one she designed. Can you tell where her aesthetic lies? I know you can't, it's too bright to see this pen. But yeah, if you look at the, yeah, I would totally get probably silent switches. Oh, you got the Pilot envelope pens, Tessa? They work on vellum, huh? I mean, it's kind of a permanent ink, so yeah, I guess it would work pretty well. But you can see where the Shiba pen design and Susan's aesthetic. So that's a really cool keyboard. And now she has actually gone to work for the key company. So yeah, it's pretty great, and you can get like all these brass keycaps. The Key Company. The Key. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, the Pen Company. So, yeah, so she's actually gone to work for them. Why are there no arrows on that keyboard? I have no idea. I don't know the fancy keyboards and how they operate, whether they have things or not. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a keyboard guru. So yeah, I will eventually. If I ever move the stream back to my house, that's probably when I'll get the keyboard. So, and I know there's a lot of crossover with keyboards and pens, that community, like anything gadgety, like fountain pens and anything gadgety kind of have a good crossover. It's pretty cool. So this keyboard I have, I didn't order. It just came with this computer when I bought it. It's kind of clicky, but it's not. I don't know that it's like I don't know anything about it. If it's a mechanical keyboard or what. It just says Gigabyte on it. I don't know what that means. Gigabyte Force K83. Seems nice. It's a little bit clicky. So who knows? I probably just killed all my something. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for today. I wanted to go longer and do some more stuff, but like I said, I didn't really have time to plan anything for today. I'm open for questions if y'all have some more. Like, I don't need to rush off. I do have a monstrous amount of writing I'm going to do as soon as we're done with this. I think I have 3 posts to write. I talked about the theme system only in the pens that I use and the fact that I missed Tuesday. So I got to go back and do that. I'm going to do that shortly. But yeah, I'm still using it. Yeah, so where's my dots? This thing really needs bookmarks, totally. So yeah. Like, there's my dots from the last 2 weeks. You know, so I've been using it pretty regularly. It's been fun. It's working for me. Other than I've never set the alert to remember to do it, because I know I'd probably just ignore it. When I do it, it's probably only like 10 minutes a day. It's the remembering to do it part. A lot of times I'll do it first thing in the morning from the previous day, because if I end up doing it like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is when I have like between 4 and 6, I'll do work generally, and that's usually a good time to do the theme system. But sometimes there's something at night that I want to capture, so I'll just do it in the next morning. Who makes a good permanent silver ink pen or marker for signatures? I mean, Sharpie makes a killer silver pen. I don't know any other ones besides that I have used, but I've used the Sharpie one and it's really good. What camera am I using for the desk view? It's the Logitech HD. Logitech HD just says 1080p, so I don't know the model. But it's like if you look up the Logitech HD 1080p, it'll tell you the model. It was like a super popular one, so it should probably be like a first search result type of thing. And it's also the face cam. Like this is the same camera on this shot as. Yeah, I don't have the commands set it up. Stupak. I should. That's another thing I should work on is the commands. I always say the commands. But this camera and this camera are exactly the same. Plipton, thanks for the follow. C920. All right, hello Tello Art. We'll see you later. Top 5. I do have that one in there. It's just top 5. So yeah, I need to do more commands. So one of the things I was going to work on is the lighting for this area. It seems pretty good right now, but like I have so many colors, and I think it's going to be more of a camera issue as we go forward with the desk cam. But we'll see. We'll see. Something to play around with. What pen do I use the most for? What was that question? Theme system. I try to use a different pen every day. I have so many pens. I make it a reason to try different things. So yeah, I use lots of different pens. I've used the same pen twice, probably only once or twice. And how long am I been doing this now? A month almost. Maybe not quite a month. Yeah, almost a month. So just during weekdays. So. Have you talked about or seen the pre-made pen on Kickstarter? I have seen it. I have no interest in discussing it. It does not interest me whatsoever. I mean, I don't think it's that special. Oh, they have keyboard group buys all the time. I'm purposefully avoiding it. My ring system is by William Hanna. Love this thing. Very happy with it. It's funny, I'm not I need a Toby cam. I'm using the bigger calendar less than I thought I would. So I need to figure that out for future. One of the reasons I wanted the 2-page per month calendar, this layout. Oh, I had it up there. Sorry. This layout was to future plan things, and I have not been doing that. That's one of the things I really was my goal, and I'm not using that properly. I'm using the weekly, and I'm using the notes pretty regularly. Paper's been great. I've had 0 issues with the paper. Am I going to talk to Mike about my themes more on the show? Not a lot, because he covers that on Cortex, but probably when we get into next year, I already have an idea of a theme I want to do for next year. This year's theme was experimentation. I'll grade myself. See you, Rich Sticks. Have a good one. I will grade myself on how I felt I did this year's theme, and then I'll focus on next year's theme in January. I do like having that. I know I could switch at any time. I do like having that yearly cutoff for one thing. Thank you, Stupak. You're awesome. Appreciate you. So yeah, like I should go ahead and put. Actually, we'll do this right now. I should go ahead and put the dates that I just wrote down into here. because that will help. So yeah, I've used everything from wide stub nibs to needlepoint, which is what I'm about to use. Yeah, Cal, that's my preferred layout. But right now the ones I'm using are the thinner sizes, right? The Traveler size, A5 Slim. I'm going to use the Hobonichi Weeks this year, which is weekly followed by blank page. But this is what I use. Like, if I can find a page where I can show you some of the, where I'm not giving up OPSEC. Yeah, so, oh, I guess you could read all that anyway while I'm sitting there flipping through it. Hey, Tech Cowboy. So yeah, I use the weekly stuff on this side and then blank notes on this side. And this is my William Hanna notebook that they printed. Oh, so I was going to go to the calendar. So now when it's dark outside and I have these lights, I can actually see my desk. So like I've used some of it, right? But I'm not doing a good job at just going in and planning it. Like I had to move this review. This is the Waldman review. I'm going to try to do it for tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get it done or not. And this is, so this was Pensachi Ad Week. This is going to be, where am I? This is going to be Cheap Pens Ad Week. So I'm using my Rialo with the needlepoint, and it's awesome for its calendaring, which I like. Yeah, look at Levenger and look at Arc from Staples, and there's maybe one or two more out there that you can look at. William Hanna is very expensive. So who else does that type of layout? I'm trying to think who does that layout in the bigger books. Like Sumkin is what I used last year, and then they said they weren't going to make that layout for this year. So I don't know what to do there. I would recommend that in a second if they offered up that layout. So like I don't have the holidays in here. I need to do a better job with this. Philly Pen Show. I love this pen now that I got the nib taken care of. Not that it was bad before, but it's glorious now. Yeah, that's a challenge, Tech Cowboy. Especially with planners. There's so many different layouts, and it seems like they're never exactly perfect for what you need, and you have to sacrifice. Baltimore's February 28th. Do we have is 2020 a leap year? I guess so. I have it on this calendar, so. I love my 3776 Sf Nib, but I've noticed the nib catches on the upstroke. I've tried it on several different papers. Any thoughts on what I can do? If I have one that's like feels pretty good in most writing situations, and then I have a certain stroke, all years divisible by 4 leap years, cool. I asked my mother-in-law is a leap year baby, so her birthday is the 29th of February. So I end up smoothing the nib a little bit. I have like the 12,000 grit sandpaper, and if I find I smooth it to where it doesn't modify the nib at all, but it smooths, I make that stroke that is catching on the sandpaper Um, I tend to find that works because I've definitely had that happen. So yeah, I would just make that motion and continue to basically work through it, and it doesn't modify the nib at all. It just smooths out that little catch that does happen, especially on a softer nib where there's a little more give in between the tines, right? So you'll be prone to splitting those a little bit more, and it will catch from time to time. So that's what I do. All right, Baltimore. I'm also using, so this is my YY Pen Club Rialo, and I'm using the Bungbox Sapphire ink, and I think I may never use a different ink in this pen ever. It's just good. It's kind of glorious. All right, Jesse. Go pay the bills. Get that work. Arkansas Pen Show. I wish y'all could all write with this pen. It is such a Brad pen. I'm so happy with it. Arkansas Pen Show. Atlanta Pen Show. I should just go ahead and write down Waffle House on that one. One thing I don't like about this calendar layout is I wish the end of the non-active month date, so this is the March 2020 page, right? So then it rolls into April, like, which is good. Like, I want to see that. I wish they would grayed out even more. Like, they're a different shade, but I wish there was more separation, more definition between the actual month and then the carryover of the previous and the after month. All right. See you, Jacqueline. Have a good meeting. Have a good day. Chicago. See, this one starts way up here for April. It goes, for May, starts way up here. It goes all the way through here, through the 10th of May on my April calendar, which is fine. Like, I get it for the layout purposes. I need that about 5 shades lighter. I really want that separation. So, pro tip there for William Hanna. I know you're listening, Dave. So, make that happen. No big deal. Chicago. April 30th. Yeah, we'll just call that May 1st. Because now I feel like I have to go write this. I probably should have written this on the next page instead of this one. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Line borders and numbers lighter. That's all. I mean, like, I get why it's there. Like, and it should be there. And they are different shades, but it's like one shade off. I need them to be a lot off. See, like, I feel like I probably put that in the wrong place. I should have put this over here. So we're just going to do it again. And that's kind of all we have consistent date for, is everything else is TBD right now. Well, did I just splash? I just splashed ink everywhere. Throwing that pen around. All right. I think that's a wrap for today, gang. We'll work on some streams for next Tuesday, Thursday, see what we can do. I want to do some handwriting. I have envelopes to address. Maybe we'll have some more Star Wars pens to yell about, something like that. So, random thought, do they make a traveler's notebook cover that is also a wallet? That would be cool. So, they make inserts that can make it like a wallet. And then other companies make wallet style covers for that type of notebook. Like, I don't know if Chic Sparrow actually has that style, but that's where I'd start looking. They're a popular maker for that. You could check One Star Leather. They might do that. If not, he can custom make you one. Yeah, Tony, I don't know why it won't let me flip it the right way in the software, because the camera software will let me flip it, but I can't stream. Always fun to yell about Star Wars. It is. All right, so I'm gonna go yell at someone else right now. Maybe even Brian. You know, maybe I'll call him real quick and see what's up and congratulate him for knocking out these last couple of months of spoke pins. He really did all the heavy lifting, big time. So thank y'all for hanging out, and I will be around rest of the week. If y'all need anything, give me a shout on Twitter. That's always the best place to get me. If you have any questions, I usually get back to that. So thanks, and I'll see y'all later.